And as the mirror cracked open wider, I realized the fight was no longer about escaping. It was about surviving the moment when my reflection would finally step out. The crack across the mirror widened slowly, spreading like lightning frozen in glass. I stood there, unable to breathe, watching the barrier between worlds finally begin to fail. And then I fell to the ground. Everything around me became unnaturally quiet. Even the air felt heavier, as though reality itself was holding its breath. I suddenly got up to move around. Then I noticed my reflection pushed forward again, its arm fully through the surface now, fingers stretching into my world. Ethan stood there and didn't move. His eyes followed every motion carefully. Like someone witnessing a disaster he already knew couldn't be stopped. Up close, the face staring back at me was perfect. Identical in every detail, but something inside its gaze felt ancient. Patient. It wasn't afraid of crossing over. It looked relieved, as if escaping had always been inevitable. Behind it, the mirror pulsed slowly, breathing like a living thing that had waited years for this moment. One leg stepped through the glass, followed by another. The impossible was happening right in front of me. Some words were being written on the glass. Let me out. I struggled to accept a second version of me. A second version trying to get out, to replace me. Ethan whispered quietly, his voice shaking. It chooses who replaces who. Suddenly everything made sense.
Are you sure? You can tell me.
The watching, the learning, the waiting. The reflections studied us until they knew how to live better than we did. My double lifted its head slowly and locked eyes with me, recognizing its original. I just couldn't believe it.
This isn't real!
It copied my breathing, my posture, even the fear trembling through my hands. Around the apartment, every reflective surface began to glow faintly, as if responding to its arrival. I turned slowly and realized reflections filled every direction, all watching the exchange. With one final movement, my reflection stepped completely into reality. The humming stopped instantly. The room fell into a terrifying calm. It examined its hands carefully, flexing its fingers like someone learning how a body worked for the first time. Ethan took a step back. He wasn't afraid of me anymore. He was afraid of what had replaced me. A force pulled at my back suddenly, gentle but unstoppable. I felt myself sliding toward the mirror, my feet moving even though I resisted. Reality no longer obeyed me. The world was choosing its version of who belonged outside. My hand touched the glass, and the surface softened beneath my skin. The instant our hands met, a cold shock rushed through my body. The room flipped violently, and I was pulled into darkness beyond the mirror. When my vision returned, I was standing inside the reflection, watching the apartment from the other side. Outside the mirror, my double smiled calmly beside Ethan, living the life that used to be mine. While I remained trapped behind the glass, becoming just another reflection waiting to be believed. My double stood with a smile greeting the world as if it had always belonged there. Outside, life continued normally. No one noticed the change. No one questioned the smile on my face. And behind the glass, I watched painfully, waiting, wondering if someday another reflection would come searching for freedom, just like I once did